In this lesson, you'll learn about how to provide various types of basic default resources in your apps so they're available to your app Java code and the Android system. To start with, let's look at a resources example from the API Demos app. In the Demos worksheet, we can filter to find the entries. Now, I remember that they're designated in the secondary group. I can filter on that column for resources. And we find that we have 5 entries. Now, if you don't remember what column might contain the keyword you're using, you can progressively filter on each column. But let's check out the resources demo and notice that it has a Java file name of resources sample. Now let's fire it up in the emulator, and we see that these demos are in the content primary group. So we click on content, then resources, and we see our demos. And we're going to start the demo called resources. It's displaying 3 lines of basically the same text with the elimination of any formatting in the middle string. Now let's open the resources sample Java file in Eclipse. So I'll double-click the resources sample Java file, maximize it, and in line 47, we see that the set content view designates the resources layout XML file. So let's go down to the layouts, and we'll find the resources XML here. Double-click that. And in that file, we see we have a linear layout with 3 text views. Each of these text views designates an ID, such as styled text, and formatting parameters for width, height, gravity, and text style. Now, if we go back to the resources sample Java code, we see that the Java code is using the ID styled text to access this resource. And we'll learn more about the Java code access to resources in the next lesson. For now, we'll concentrate on the resources themselves. So let's take a look at some more detail about resources. The Android developer's website has an informative page on providing resources, which we see here. It has a good table explaining the different types of resources. And this table has some useful references to other developer pages using hyperlinks, such as here for property animations and here for tween animations. So let's just take a quick spin through them. The animator directory that has XML files that define property animations, the anim folder for tween animations. Color contains XML that defines a state list of colors. Then this facilitates color changes depending on the state of the view object. For example, when a button is pressed, focused, or neither, there would be color changes between those. The drawable folder contains bitmap files such as PNG, JPEG, and GIF files. The layout folder contains XML that defines a user interface layout, and we've seen a number of these. The menu folder contains XML that defines app menus, such as options menus. Raw contains arbitrary files in their raw form, and to access these files, you would need to use the Asset Manager class. Values folder contains simple values such as strings, integers, and colors, and these are usually divided into subfolders such as strings, colors, and styles. And the XML folder contains arbitrary XML files that can be read at runtime using the getXML method. So these are the kinds of default resources you can provide for your apps. And of course, you probably won't use all these types for every app, but most apps will contain at least drawables, layouts, menus, and values. So that's our lesson on default resources. In the next lesson, you'll learn about alternative resources for enhancing your apps.